Guys, let me know if you can hear me and see me well. We got a new phone today for Christmas, courtesy of my wonderful husband, and need to see if everybody can hear me or see me. You should be able to see and most definitely hear me better on videos and lives. So y'all leave a comment and tell me whether you can hear me and see me. Pretty please. Y'all don't mind my hair because I had it in one way and I thought, well, I will, yay! How are you doing? I had my hair in one way and then I was like, well, I'm going to fix it because that looks horrible. Guys, it has been a wet, rainy, relaxing day. We have spent time with family and we have... It's a mess. It's a mess. I have a lot of hair though that I had to deal with. And so sometimes it just does what it wants to do. It comes back to the bottom of my thighs, or when I'm sitting down it sits in my lap. And so it's a lot of hair, and that's why you all see me have it up on top of my head all the time, because it's a lot. It's a lot to manage. But it's okay. I mean, it don't matter. I'm not trying to impress anybody. There's our sweet girl. Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's about over, though.
Is it about over? She's been laying in the floor playing with her new toys. She got new horses. And she has been just going to town playing with them. It's one of her favorites, is the horses. She's got her beautiful new dress on that her aunt got her. Ain't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
You look so pretty.
I wore my other one earlier and I loved it.
Yeah. She said, Merry Christmas. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Ours was great. It was nice getting to just spend the day relaxing and spending time with your family. And so we got to spend pretty much the entire day with our family. We have a tradition in our family that my mom always comes over to the grandkids' house and opens Christmas presents with them. And so she goes to my sisters first because they get up
at the crack of dawn.
They get up at the crack of dawn at their house. No, it wasn't a white Christmas. I was so hoping that it would be. It has been raining. It rained yesterday and it rained today, and we are in, I think yesterday that it was like 66 degrees, and today it's like 56.
It's been hot.
It's warmed up all of a sudden, which is ridiculous because we were putting videos out last week with there was snow on the ground, and now we had a wet, rainy Christmas. It wasn't the white Christmas I was hoping for, but beggars can't be choosers. So, I guess we just got to take the rain. 60 degrees, good day. Yeah, it's been nice. I'm not going to complain about it being 60 degrees compared to it being in the lows, because I don't do well in the cold. I don't like the cold. Now Lakin loves the cold. But she's real hot natured, and so the cold don't bother her. You got to constantly holler at her for being outside with no shoes on and not having a jacket on, or having short sleeve shirts, or no shirt underneath her dresses. She'll freeze you out just looking at her. Like, and will you let the dog out, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Chores go on, and they don't care whether it's Christmas or not. When we pulled in, they were waiting on us just like they were every day before that. Yeah, they don't care. But one good thing about it is today was relaxing. We got to, like I said, we got to spend time with family. I don't get to spend a lot of time with my sister because we just have such busy schedules. And her and her husband work full time, and then of course we do what we do, and we're really, really busy. And usually we see each other on holidays and birthdays and stuff like that, but we don't get to spend as much time together as we'd like to. And so she came over for Christmas, and we exchanged gifts, and we all went out to eat together to the only place that's open on Christmas, which is the Chinese restaurant. But it was good, and it was nice to spend time with them, and it was nice for Lakin to spend time with her cousins. And so, like I said, it seems like, and it shouldn't be that way, but it seems like in this day and age, everybody is so busy, and you just don't get to see the people you want to see like you want to see them. And so, it seems like Christmas brings people together, which I know some people spend Christmas alone, and I hate that, but we were blessed to be able to spend time with our family, and I'm very thankful for that. Yeah. I'm so glad I was not in the kitchen all day. Thank goodness my mother-in-law, bless her heart, she does all the cooking for the holidays, and I cut things and wash dishes. And I don't she does the cooking. She made one of those country hams though, where you like boil it and then wrap it for however many hours and it cooks. And she usually always makes an amazing ham. And but we do Christmas with his family on Christmas Eve. That's how we've always done it. That way that we can give Lakey time at home to play with her presents and open them up, and then my family comes over, and we just kind of go from house to house and visit each other on Christmas. After Lakey, gets time to play with her stuff, and we usually try to get home and try to be home as much as we can on Christmas, as much as possible as a farmer. But a farmer that lives 15 minutes away from their farm. So let me see. Our son is that way. He never grew out of it. He is with his friends in Wisconsin wearing shorts and flip-flops today. Glad to hear he went out to eat. Our turkey should be ready in a half hour. Yum. We don't, I tell you what I wanted to do, and I told Andy, I said, we got some roosters running around us, and we just need to kill a rooster for Christmas and just call it a Christmas supper. But thank goodness, we went out to eat instead. Yeah. Lakey's really warm-natured. She's always been that way. When she was a baby, she would sweat, and her little head would get all wet back here where she'd sweat while she was sleeping, and she still does that. She's a real hot sleeper. Oliver, honey, you're okay. Some people do holidays weekend. See, the weekend, well, I say we do it. We try to do it on Christmas Eve with his family, but his mother is a nurse, and so her schedule is dependent on, when we do Christmas is dependent on her work schedule. Typically, we try to do it Christmas Eve. Most Christmases we've done it Christmas Eve, but there's been some that she's worked. She's worked Christmas Eve and Christmas, and so you just kind of got to work through that. Let me see if I can shut this guy off here. There we go. He's dinging my phone up. So it just depends, but we try to, spend Christmas with family, but we see them every day. So we see them every day. Of course, we want to have traditions and do do the family things, but even if all we did was see them on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, then that would be perfectly fine because we do that every single day. Guys, guess what? Guess what I got? Guess what? Since I'm speaking of my mother-in-law, she is so sweet. And this is what she got me for Christmas. She got me a Presto dehydrator. So I'm super duper excited about this. I can't wait to get started on it. I wanted to get started on it tonight and I wasn't even going to do a video, but then I thought, well, some people might be interested in it. So I might wait and do a video. I'm going to sit it back over here. Might wait, but I don't have any pectin on hand. And I thought, well, if I'm going to core and slice these apples, and dehydrate them, because we've got a bushel of apples. We've got a bushel of apples out at the farm. I took like a shopping bag, a little grocery bag full, and brought them here to do the dehydrating. But then I got to thinking, if I'm going to core and slice these apples, I don't want to waste that. So then I might do some more apple jelly, because I don't want to waste them. So I'm going to see if I can get a hold of some pectin, because I don't have any. And then maybe when I get a hold of some pectin, I can get them apples dehydrated. It just seems like such a waste to core and peel the apples and then not do anything with the cores and the peels. And so, I mean, I know I could give them to the animals, but I can give them to the animals after they are, the liquid's brought out of them. I don't know. It just seems so wasteful. So hopefully I can do that. And of course we've ate the dickens out of them apples that I put up in the fall. And so it ain't gonna hurt us to have some more apples in the pantry. They were delicious. And I've give some away too, but they were really, really good. I don't know. What you'll love your dehydrated herbs. We also dehydrate beets and make beet chips. That would be interesting. You can do a lot with the dehydrator. Many fun days. I'm super excited about it. See, I was thinking, like when I first got it, I was thinking like deer jerky, like different type of meat jerkies. And then I thought about dehydrated fruit. It didn't even hit me that I can dehydrate garlic and onions. But see, because I hang my vegetables and like peppers and things like that to dry. And I wasn't even thinking like I can take apples or I can take oranges and garlic and put them in the dehydrator and dehydrate them and make garlic powder and onion powder. And so I'm super excited now. Like I feel like an entire new world has opened up to me because it has. And I'm just super excited. I don't know if they'll freeze. I thought about that and I was going to look it up and I completely forgot. But I definitely don't want them to go to waste. And so I was thinking that if you like cored and peeled all the apples, they would get like mushy. Even if I put them in the freezer, that they would kind of get mushy. And so I don't know, which I guess it would matter whether they got mushy or not if I'm just getting them for the juice. I'll have to look it up. I don't know. I'll just have to look it up. I don't think I could do it right now. But I'm super duper excited about the dehydrator. And I feel like that I am, I'm high on the hog is what I am. I'm super excited just to put everything in it. Everything I can and try it out. I don't think I've ever had like dehydrated apples. I mean, I know a lot of people have, but I might have had them like in maybe like a cake or something, but I don't think I've ever had just dehydrated apples. Okay. Yeah. If it comes down to it and I have to freeze them, I will. But I feel like if I just wait until I can get a hold of some pectin, I might have to, wait a little bit because it is Christmas and stuff, and we'll have to wait till the stores get open. But if I can get a hold of some pectin, I can just put those peels and cores into the pot with just a little bit of water, and then, steep them, get all that juice out of them, and put some pectin in it and make some apple jelly. That apple jelly is delicious. It's itching to make jerky. We don't dehydrate our onions because it takes a week to get the onion smell out of the house. Well, I'm glad you told me. I imagine garlic would be too. Yeah, you're probably right. We freeze chopped onions, yeah. We don't grow enough onions in the garden. We've never grown enough onions in the garden to, like, put up. We've hung some up, like, braided them together and hung them up. But we have only grown, like, the little tiny onions. And we usually don't grow big cloves of garlic either. We need to, but we don't. Yeah, porch projects. That's what I was getting ready to say. What I'll do is dehydrate them maybe down there in the garage. The garlic and the onion. I'm glad you said that, because I can imagine that smelling like a boys' locker room. That would not be good. People come to the house and think, my goodness. Oh, no. Did you think about that, Drew?
What?
She said that they don't dehydrate their onions because it takes a week to get the smell out of the house. And she said the garlic would probably be the same, or she imagined the garlic would probably be the same way, and I can imagine that being very highly possible. I can imagine that being very highly possible. I want to ask you all a question while you all are on here. You all said that you could hear me. I know both of you have been on my chats before. Can you hear me better than you could on my on my previous videos on my old phone? Ollie, honey, he's in need of attention. I like jalapenos dehydrated, but I also make pepper. I'll show you. So I've got these jalapenos. Okay, awesome, great. Because I have not made a video on this phone yet. He just got it to me today. All right, well, we'll see you. I think that's what you mean, that you're heading out. Okay, well, you go talk to your son. Merry Christmas.
Look at my new apron.
She got a new apron for Christmas. But these are jalapenos. And then I've got some hanging in the window. These are not quite dry yet. But I'm super excited because I always do my jalapenos and my cayenne peppers this way. And then, crush them up and make seasoning. Do powder and pepper flakes and stuff like that. And so I'll be able to do it a lot quicker in this than I will be, Then I will be, let me see if I can get that message to go away. Oh, are y'all there? Okay, sorry. My phone it's a new phone. I'm having to learn how to situate it. Then I will be able to do it a lot faster in the dehydrator than I will just hanging in the window. It takes a few weeks. Okay. You've got all the information, so it sounds like see, these jalapenos we grew in our garden at the house, and I don't know. We bought the plants. I didn't seed start them, and we bought the plants, and at the same greenhouse, they were all in the same section. They came out jalapenos, but these jalapenos weren't like spicy at all. Like they don't. I mean, they're not burning my hands or nothing. But the ones we grew out of the farm had a good taste to them. I made a bunch of jalapeno poppers out of them. I mean, it's all right if you don't like spicy food, but I like my peppers to be hot. Speaking of that, if you haven't got your Baker's Creek seed catalog yet, you go do that. These are free. And I always put in for a Baker Creek. It came in the other day. I don't know. I thought that was a neat looking tomato. It's called Purple Galaxy tomato. It says it's sweet. It's a sweet tomato. But I'm super excited. I say I'm super excited. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know if it's possible. But no. If it crossed, it had to have crossed on their end, the people we bought it from, because we didn't have any other peppers out here besides bells that were planted away from the jalapenos. I don't know why they didn't have any. I don't know why they didn't have any. I'll tell you what, though. Our garden out here at the house didn't do as good as it normally does. And I think it's because, well, one, we had a drought. Most places had a drought. And two, we spent more time on the farm garden, which is like our canning garden. This is more of our fresh eating garden. We spent more time on it. And I don't know if there was like a lack of nutrition in the soil. If we need to do something with the soil, I don't really know. But the garden didn't do, well, and we planted it weeks too late. But I don't see how that affects the taste of a jalapeno. But they were prolific. I had quite a few jalapenos, but they just they didn't have a very strong taste to them. And I don't know, if that would be due to soil. Yeah, well, that's the thing is we didn't spend any time out here pretty much on this garden. I mean, all we did was plant it and pick. And even then, we just didn't do what we didn't treat this garden out here was mistreated. We didn't treat it the way we should have. Although the garden at the farm was extremely prolific, even though the beans did bad out here, we got just enough for seed. And maybe I canned a few jars. I think I canned 4 jars out of our garden out here, and the beans at the farm did absolutely horrible. They were tough. They were I don't know, they did bad, and I don't know if it was the seed, because we did plant those from seed. I don't know if it was the seed. I don't know if it was the drought. I don't know. I don't really know. It just I want to say it's where it was so hot and where it was the drought. But maybe this garden out here, it was something on our end, They need to be treated. They need to be looked after and tended to get a good yield out of them, and they weren't. So, it is what it is.
I got me some books for Christmas.
She's opening her up some books. Come here, bring them here.
I got me a farm book and some Fancy Nancy books.
She got her some readers.
I love mine.
Let's see.
I thought it was just one whole book, but it's like
Fancy Nancy. Looks like it's, how many is it?
I don't know.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let Mommy cut it, please. That nice kind of sharp.
Okay.
Okay, will you put the trash out?
So we have this one.
Here, those are flipped backwards.
Oh. Oh, here's like a little.
So
I ain't opened these yet.
those
so.
are phonics books. That's what it is. These are phonics books. Let's see. So we'll be excited to see how y'all put cover over fence area for ideas. Lakey's a reader. Yeah, she likes
Her books.
She likes books. She's got an extensive library. That was something I always wanted to make sure she had, was plenty of books to read. And so, you got plenty of books to read, don't you?
Mhm.
She's got a lot.
I could open up a library.
Well, see where we're fencing. What we're gonna do is they're gonna have, once we get the fence finished, then we'll be able to put more money towards finishing the building. And what we're going to try to do is just give them more areas to get in and under. The actual fence that's going to be up is going to be predator proof for more like ground predators, possums, raccoons, foxes, coyotes, and stuff like that. The thing about the hawks, our main issue with the predators that we had this year, is the hawks were getting baby chicks, and they were getting the baby chicks in areas that the dog could not get to. And it was where we're building that fence is where we were finding feathers, and like babies. And it was places where the dog couldn't get to. So we're hoping that once we open that whole area there, because that dog will try to run off a hawk. He barks at birds. But what we're hoping is that we can get him in that larger area. One, that's going to give him place to roam. It's going to give him more room. He needs more room. He's got the area where the chickens are mostly kept right now, and then the goat yard to run, which is about a half an acre or a little less, around a half an acre, and then but this will give him about an acre more, so he'll have about an acre and a half to guard, which is going to be better for him. Obviously, it's going to be more fun and give him more places to run and roam, but it will also be better for the animals because he'll be able to get to where he needs to be to protect them. I think a lot of the things that happened was the babies were getting out and he couldn't protect them. And so we free range our chickens. And if you free range your chickens, you can expect some losses. But we're hoping that this will die down on the losses, which 80 birds is an awful lot of baby chicks to lose. And this sounds bad. 80 chicks is a lot of chicks to lose, but also we raised over 100 birds this year. So, 80 birds is quite a bit, but 100 birds is a lot to raise too. It stinks to have those losses, but also it's like survival of the fittest at the same time. I know that sounds horrible. But yeah, he is a really, really good livestock guardian dog. And we're hoping as well that once we can get this other acre for him to roam, that maybe we can get another one to go in there with him so that he can have a buddy. And we believe that'll be good for him, and also that they can work as a team. Livestock guardian dogs do better together anyways. And so That's what we're hoping. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We always have things running through our mind and things that we need to do, but there's a time and a place for everything, and sometimes them times and places are not when and where you want it to be. And so that's what we're working towards. I will be super thankful when we get that fence done. It feels like we've been working on it for a long time. I say we've been working on it. I've been watching Andy mostly do all of it. Mostly because he is a perfectionist. And secondly, because he's a perfectionist. And so we just let him do it. And he knows what he's doing. He's the only person that I've ever worked on fences with. And we've done a lot of fence work down through the years and all kinds of weather and different kinds of fences. But it's fun just to sit out there with him and hang out and have that time together. And if that's one of the few times that we get to hang out, which we hang out a lot, we're together a lot of times, but it's fun just having those times, those family times together, where we all come out there and sit and hang out and sit around and talk as much as we do this fence. We've been sitting around talking as much as we've been working, but it's fun to have those times together and have those family times and just laugh and hang out. And so, yeah, chickens can go through. It's easy. Like we need to get chicken wire at the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, I think, I think that that's a good idea. And I feel like if we did that, it would save a lot of birds. Because also with the hawks, we have neighbors that have cats, multiple cats, excessive amount of cats. And they were getting our baby chicks too, which was not fun. That was not fun at all. Yeah. Yeah, I don't try to tell him what to tell him what to do, because he has his certain ways of doing things, and that's fine, because when he comes into my area and tries to tell me how to do something, I get mad too. I call him a backseat cook. He'll come into the kitchen. I think he comes into the kitchen because he gets hungry and he starts smelling the food, and then he wants to come in there and like tell me how to do it, and I say, honey, no, we're not backseat cooking. And so he usually finds his way back into the living room. Yeah, that's one thing about it is we spend a lot of time together. If he minded my company, he'd probably be gone a long time ago. I do a lot of talking, and he don't complain too much. Yeah. Yeah, them cats that are just not socialized and just, real feral and just not tended after, cats can survive without people. They don't need people to survive, and they're very good at scavenging and finding things to eat. And that's the thing, is when you've got somebody close to you, close to your farm, that has just cats just breeding, and doing and just not being managed, they tend to go a little rogue and start getting a hold of things they shouldn't be. And so I think we lost. I know for sure that we lost. I know for sure that that the cats were getting the baby chicks, because I witnessed one of the cats we ran the cats off of the chicken coop 3 times previously. They were like sitting on the roof of my coop and looking down at my chickens, and just waiting to grab one, and we ran them off. The dog ran them off. And we, at that point in time, our cat, is actually from these people that have the feral cat. He came down to our farm and we fed him, and he never bothered the chickens. But when he first got there, he started grabbing a hold of baby chicks. But he got to where he was being fed, and he was killing mice and other things, and so he didn't need the baby chicks. And we trained him not to kill the baby chicks. But these other cats were coming down, and the dog automatically knew that they weren't supposed to be there. He knew the barn cat, our barn cat, but he knew automatically that those cats weren't going to be there. Well, I was working in the garden one day, and I heard a chick, cheep, 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 cheep. And I looked up, and there's a female cat running off with the baby chick in its mouth, and I scared the cat, and she dropped the chick, but she stood back and waited for that. I ran the chick back down, but she stood back and waited for that chick, and she would 100% she would have got that chick if I wasn't there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun when you have cats around, because they just, like I said, we did, our cat, when he first came to us, he was starved. And he was, he was partly feral. We did get him to where he could, handle being held and stuff. But he was pretty feral when he came down, but he came and he stayed, and we fed him, and he was around chicks and chickens, and once he knew that he was going to get food, and once he knew that he could kill mice, and he killed mice, squirrels, rats, lizards, snakes. He got a hold of everything, and we never did have any problems after that. After he knew that he was going to get food every single day, we never did have any problems that I know of him killing baby chicks. He would kill birds, but we never did catch him killing any baby chicks. And as far as I know, the only cats that were coming down there killing baby chicks over the summer were the neighbors' cats, and so I don't think he was doing it. I didn't catch him doing it. Now I caught the neighbor's cats doing it, but I didn't catch him doing it. I've seen him around baby chicks and stuff, and he never did. I would even watch from a distance, and he never did prey on them or nothing like that. So, but them cats can be pretty detrimental to a flock of birds pretty quickly, if they're not managed. So we'll see in the spring how it goes. I'm hoping that we don't lose any to cats. But we'll see. We might have to have a conversation with the neighbors. We didn't say anything with the neighbors, when it happened over the summer, but we might have to have a conversation with the neighbor if we lose any more chicks in the springtime. We are hatching off chicks now. We've got, how many have we hatched off? 3? 2 or 3 batches of chicks, and we've got some in the incubator now, which they're my husband's chickens. They're not big stock, but we'll have plenty of baby chicks in the springtime. We like to hatch them off in the wintertime, though. I feel like, I've talked about this before on a live, I feel like we have less prey issues when we hatch them off into the winter, in the winter to the spring, and they seem to be more resilient to sickness and stuff in the wintertime than they do in the spring, which we do medicate our birds in the beginning for certain things. Like coccidia and different things that we give them right after they're born. But I do feel like that they're more resilient, and of course they're bigger. So like by the time spring comes around, they're pretty good sized chicks. They're pretty good size instead of these little tiny chicks that are usually in the spring. Those little tiny chicks just seem to draw in the predators. But if you've got chickens that are like this big or chickens that are that big, they're a little less more prey than little tiny chicks running around. So we'll just have to see. Daisy Q, you just held right on with me. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I think we're going to call it a night. Looks like not many's popping on anymore. And I think it's just been me and you talking majority of the time. I wanted to pop on here, though, and tell everybody Merry Christmas. And I hope that everybody was having a wonderful day. And I hope that that y'all have been able to be as blessed as we have today and every day, but especially today. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, and you're always a big supporter, and I consider you a friend. But I thank you, and Merry Christmas to you all as well. And I hope you all have a wonderful New Year. If I don't see you, I probably will. But if we don't get to talk before now and New Year's, I hope that you have a wonderful New Year's, and I hope everybody that's watching this has a wonderful New Year's. But we're going to pop off here, and I'm going to read my directions on my dehydrator probably. And I know, I'm so close. I'm so close. I'm getting super antsy. I think I'm like, what, 8 subscribers away from having 1,000. I'm really close. So that's going to be really exciting, and I'm to say the least, to not toot my horn, I've worked really hard to get here to this almost 1,000 subscribers. This last few months has been we've been barely getting there to the 1,000 subscribers, where we had to take so many weeks off from being sick. It really put us behind. I feel like I would have been a little bit farther than I was, but that's okay. Everything happens in its own time. So I'm super excited though about getting 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully I can meet that goal. But I appreciate y'all hanging out, and or you hanging out. I guess you're the only one that's left. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and maybe we can hang out again before New Year's. But we'll see you later. Bye. Good night.